Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. John Tantillo, the marketing doctor for Monday, the 2nd of March, 2026. And I like to welcome you all. If this is your first um, meeting of Brand Talk, um, I'm a little bit taken back by the passing of my dear friend, Neil Sedaka. And I wanted to do this sooner, but I was having some technology issues that I won't get into. And here, I'll even let you know with all that's going on in the world. I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but this is the pitch I did to Newsmax. Good morning. Any interest in discussing my friendship with Neil Sedaka? I met him at Fox when I was part of a streaming show called The Strategy Room. It started when I invited him to dinner, and the rest is history. Please let me know your thoughts. Warmly, John. I don't know if I'm going to get a booking because of what's happening in the world, but nevertheless, I thought I would do that. And because it was a very, very unique friendship. And it started at Fox. And let me just say, when I went to Fox and was not a paid contributor, and if you don't know anything about TV and being a either a talking head or what I was a non-paid contributor. You do it for nothing. You do it to get your name out there. And when I was working at the strategy room, that's what happened. And the tremendous advantage was I had a publicist who knew people at Fox, and the rest, as I like to say, the rest is history. So anyway, between uh, tapings of this strategy room, who comes in or who leaves the set is Neil Sedaka. And I mentioned him that I enjoyed his music. And by the way, would you like to go to dinner? And he said to me, oh, what's your name? I said, my name is John Tantillo. He said, I would love to. Give me your number and I'll bring a friend and we'll go to dinner. I said, I know just the place. We'll go to Le Cirque. And I don't know if you folks know about Le Cirque, but Le Cirque was considered one of the outstanding restaurants in New York City. And I knew the family. So I got taken really good care of by Ciro, the owner, and his sons. And he was so happy, I was told, that I invited him for dinner as opposed to him having to take everybody else for dinner. By the way, you'll have to excuse me, my allergies are bothering me, and I'm itching and scratching and doing all those things that I'm told not to do on camera, but I'm sorry for doing them. But please understand, I'm only one man. So anyway, we go to Le Cirque with a friend. I won't mention the person's name because I don't have permission to uh, to mention him, but he's a pretty well known hairdresser, and that's how he got to know Neil, and how he, myself, and Neil used to go out to restaurants. And the restaurants that we went to are Le Cirque, the daughter restaurant to Le Cirque, called Churco. All right. And how could you not go to Patsy's, that Sinatra used to go to? And then one of my Brooklyn favorites, called Bamonte's. And I'll tell you each about that, about these different. Oh, and and we also, he and I went exclusively to La Bernardine. I took him out to dinner at La Bernardine, where Eric Repair he was all over us, and it was absolutely wonderful. I had such a good time, and there he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said to me, JT, that he then referred to me as JT. You have the personality of the big ones. I just got to tell you, you could handle anything. Your personality is just magnificent. So I said, well, thank you very much. And we just had a wonderful dinner. And really, La Bernardine is one of my favorite restaurants. Well, I'm a big fan of seafood and fish, and they're known for that. Even though they have steak on the menu, it's not one of their priorities. Their brand is doing fish in the most delectable way you can. I mean, really, just tremendous. And I always used to get, and that used to make Neil very happy. I used to get the best wine. I used to always, and by the way, how could I afford all this? Well, I had my own marketing services company or advertising agency. I used to like to call it marketing services because at that time, in the late uh, 80s, early 90s, there was a beginning of the transition of integrated marketing. People were moving away from advertising, being called an advertising agency, and there you go. So um, that's where I went to all these restaurants, and we just had such a wonderful friendship. So let me give you some insights about Neil. Uh, I would pick him up. I had at the time a Lexus, and he lived on Park Avenue in the 50s. And by the way, that picture you see of me with him, and is a painting in the background. I believe, I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up. I should have looked it up before. That was, I think, done by Andy Warhol. And anyway, that was in his apartment. I got to his apartment. That was after dinner. He said, "Why don't you come up to my apartment?" And then he began to play the piano for me. I mean, oh, it was incredible. But one of the things that he would do is when we were going to go for dinner, let's say, he would say to me, I would say, "I'm going to be there in 10 minutes." And as I said, in my Lexus. And he said, used to say to me, JT, make sure the air conditioning is at 72. Because of my throat. I said, of course, Neil, of course. So we would get there. And then, uh, depending on the day, I wasn't just a fan, I was a customer. So I had Neil Sedaka's music. And one of my favorites, and every time I went to a concert and I was in eye shot of him, he would smile at me, and it was "Love Will Bring Us Together" or "Keep Us Together." Captain and Tennille that he wrote it for, and he would sing it. Well, I had that on my CD. Are you ready for this? He would sing along with the CD. I had Neil Sedaka in the passenger side singing to me "Love Will Bring Us Together," which is my favorite song. And then, depending on the concert that we went to, and there was one concert that he invited me to, and it was a small venue, and it was in the Regency Hotel. And he started to play it, and he winked at me when he started singing it. It just was absolutely wonderful. So anyway, I we used to go restaurant hopping. That was one thing we did. And another thing, and there, and I'm not going to give away uh, some secrets. I'll give you some of them, but I won't give away what I would call the real personal ones. Uh, the one that I really enjoyed is we're at Patsy's. Excuse me, I'm sorry about the nose. So we're at Patsy's, and the maitre d' comes by, and I know I'm going to hear it. You can't, you don't know garlic. I got news for you. Northern Italians, which I'm not, do not like garlic. And there are certain, I used to, where I had my 50th birthday party. He was from Northern Italy. He was from Venice. And he said in his restaurant, he would never serve garlic. He thought it was a foul herb. So anyway, it used to make me not well, and of having to it now, I can tolerate. It's got to be subtle. So we're at Patsy's, and I forgot the maitre d's name. It should come to me. So Neil orders, and right behind him is a picture of him when he was 30 years old. And he says to me, "You see that picture, JT? I had to lose 10 pounds to look that good. And the next day I put it right back on. That was a photo shoot." I just laughed. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. Okay. And he would invite me to these different concerts or these different appearances that he went to, as I mentioned. So anyway, but see, you got to understand something. I worked in politics, so I knew something about advance. So I knew how to take care of the principal. And in this case, it was Neil. So I never made him think. So I was always 5 steps ahead. never had to worry about anything. Everything was taken care of. Okay. So anyway, he's we're talking, and the maitre d comes, and of course the maitre d comes and takes the order, not the waiter, because it's Neil Sedaka. No, not because it's John Tantillo, but because it's Neil Sedaka. So he goes on and he orders, I don't know what he ordered. I think he might have ordered veal parmesan. Okay. And what I ordered there is I'm a big fan of what they call matagot or manicotti, as the English like to butcher it up, matagot, as we would say. And I said to the maitre d, who is acting as the waiter, no garlic. And he says, JT, do you know that blank blank feels the same way about garlic? I said, well, really? And he goes on off, and this is where I'm not letting the cat out of the bag who the celebrity was. When you take me out for dinner, I'll tell you, but I'm not making a statement. So I never forgot that celebrity's name, who is an A1 celebrity. And the next time not the next time, whenever I meet this celebrity, I will say something like, you and I share a dislike of garlic, and that will get a conversation going. And that's the secret of dealing with a celebrity. You never go and say, I'm a big fan, I'm a this, I'm a that. What you do is you pick something that can be conversational, something that's going to uh, set you apart. Now, you got to understand something. When Neil saw me, I had at that time a $6,000 tailor-made Brooks Brothers suit. I had tailor-made shirts. I had a bow tie, and I mean, I look like $1,000,000, green and wrinkles. That's a joke. So I mean, I look like I belong there, if I could be so bold. My mother was probably turning in her grave by me saying this, but nevertheless, um, we're at dinner one night, and we're um, we're talking about now. Neil, if you didn't know this, at 15 years of age, he went to Juilliard. He's under a time, and he was on. I think it was "What's My Line." I played a classical piece on the piano. Wow, how can he play? That's terrific. Absolutely incredible. But to get back to, I'm really sharp today. For some reason, I'm really sharp. I remember I didn't get distracted. Hey, you know, Neil, because he talked about the piano. He said, when I wanted to play the piano, and what my mother said it started like this. I said, Neil, um, the tenant downstairs for where we lived was moving out of the house, and she had an upright piano. And she said to my mother, Mrs. Tantillo, and have the piano if you want it. And I said, Mommy, can I take piano lessons? And no. And Neil Sedaka said to ask my for a the next my father cab driver got me an upright piano, and it was there that I learned to play. I went to Juilliard. I said, unbelievable. So that was always singing, by the way. So now, when I was in business, which I really shouldn't have done, uh, anyway, which is what they don't teach you in graduate school. But nevertheless, when you're an entrepreneur, this is what happens. I I think I was musically inclined, and if I would have played the piano, I think what I would have been is not writing the music, but certainly doing the lyrics because I'm a fairly good writer. So anyway, the name of the book, by the way, that I wanna what I want to write someday is My Mother Said No to Piano Lessons. My life as a blue collar kid, and when I talk to my sister, and I have a PhD, years, and my sister has a uh, statistics. She could have gotten it in math, but as her professor said, marketing wise, you got a better teaching possibility if you are a statistic. So that is a break. Really, she's a much better student than I ever was or ever will be. But it's funny with my sister. Uh, B she received was in education, a B, and she asked me to read and she said, "What do you think of it?" I says, "This isn't going to A." She said, "Why?" I said, "It's too academic." What happened there? Um, but uh, I said to her, "I'm good. I'm coming back, and I'm not losing my train of thought." I said, "You're not going to get an A. It's too academic. They want an education. They want a feely approach." Like she gets paper back. She says, "I can't believe you're right." I said, "Well, what could I tell you? I've been around the block. I know a little about it, and there you have it." So anyway, so I Illinois really had this uh, wonderful relationship, and in which we talked about the family, we talked about his life, which I'm not going to get into. Um, and then I met his wife, Luba, and he had mentioned something like, JT, if it wasn't for Luba, I would have stayed in Brooklyn. I said, I got just the restaurant we can go to in Brooklyn. It's renowned. Everyone goes there. It's called Bamonte's. Okay. And I used to take my mother and father there. They loved it. It was really, really good. Oh, my friend Stephen Bruce, who's the owner of Serendipity, thought that it had the best veal parmesan in the city. when I took him there. So anyway, and I paid for this. I took Luba, somebody I work with by the name of Liz Trotta. And so it was, and they put us in the corner by the desserts. If Monty's, it's in the back towards the right, right where the desserts were. And once again, what a scene. And we were talking, and it's wonderful. And see him and his grandson. And I remember him talking about his grandson when he was like 5 years old. Oh, he's such a boobala. I love my grandson. He's so cute. He used to go off on his grandson. And now the grandson's like 19, 20, keeping the legend alive, which is just absolutely terrific. And that's it. I think that all the stories that I can tell, I've mentioned. I just think he was such a wonderful man, a great talent, and our songs love keep us together. And like I said, the best was when he sang it with the CD going on. So anyway, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed us. I hope this post uh, gets you to subscribe to my channel, which is John Tantillo, the Marketing Doctor. And I talk about my amputation as a result of diabetes and how I'm coping with it. And I'll check out my site, and I've done a lot of interviews on Brand Talk. I interviewed Don Most or Donnie Most from Happy Days. Um, uh, Richard Pryor's son. I just my good friend Ellis Hennigan. There are so many, and that they're all on the channel. Even though right now I'm taking time, a lot of the time on this amputate, on the amputation idea. And the reason I'm doing it is not for people to feel sorry for me, but to act as a cheerleader for those who get depressed and feel that their life is ended because they're spending some time in a wheelchair. No, you can't look at it that way. You got to look on things. As I like to say, man plans and God laughs. So who knew? All right, so that's it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.